Hello everybody, sorry for the extended delay here. My cat was having some issues this morning, so I was just checking up on him, making sure that everything's okay. Should be fine, but we'll see. Speak of the devil, here he comes. What are you doing, buddy? Do you want to say hi to the stream? You seem fine. Dang animals. Dang animals. Anyway, today we're going to be working on addressing one of the remaining core issues with the game, which is the fact that, so we're going to be addressing a couple things. Firstly, combat is too easy still, and there are a number of reasons why that is the case. So I've already shrank the map size. Excuse me, I have a sneeze coming on. I've already shrank the map size, which I think is a lot better. That's not on the playtest build. That is just sort of on my current internal build, I guess you could say. And then the next thing to do is to reduce the number of resurrections that you can have. So I've made a resurrection a distinct mechanic in the game now. It's an event type that you can optionally go to if you feel that you need the ability to resurrect. And resurrecting or doing that event will grant you resurrection stones, and that's the currency that you need to use to resurrect. So I basically have the entire loop done. Now it's just a matter of like cleaning everything up, doing the art, all that stuff. So we're going to see if we could do some of that today. And then as far as the combat being easy, I think that those two fixes will fix that. But I also have in my mind, I've been trying to keep all of the enemy health values relatively low, but I think I'm just hitting a hard limit there where I can't do something like bleed, because even relatively low amounts of bleed cause lots of damage to happen. And so if I want to keep bleed working the way that it currently works, I think the only solution there is to go the other direction and increase the health pool size. So I think that's going to be the next thing that I do after we finish this work, is that I will just inflate the enemy and player health values a little bit, give them a higher health pool so that things like bleed and poison aren't so like disproportionately strong. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's the plan for the immediate future. And yeah, Alchemortis is available for wishlisting. It's also available for playtesting if you are a Patreon subscriber. So head on over to the Patreon, subscribe right now, and you will get instant access to the playtest of Alchemortis. You do not have to support the game financially to get access to the playtest, because everyone will have an opportunity to try the playtest on Monday of next week. So the Patreon support is very much appreciated, but not necessary to try the playtest. And I've got the Udemy courses as well. You could check those out. All that stuff is linked in the description below. Okay, let's say hello to everyone. I didn't have my little chat app going, so hello, RN Genesis, good morning. Celestial Beagle, good to see you. The Malicious Rabbit, good morning to you. Nathan San, good morning. And I think we're caught up now. Yeah, good afternoon, Johan. Good morning, Ninja Link. Good morning, Emerson. Good to see you. X Jokes, I'm here early for once. Yes, indeed. Hello, SC2. Good afternoon to you. Might be missing the playtest as well. Oh no. Busy building an interior wall. Well, some things are indeed more important than video games, I suppose. Okay, so let me show you what I've got. So I've added current resurrection stones as a currency. I was debating whether resurrection stone should be like an inventory item that you can actually like store in your inventory, or if they should be a currency. I can see arguments going both ways. I think the currency approach is better, because it would indeed be very annoying to have this resurrection stone just constantly in your inventory until you need it. So it's a currency item. It's not available in the UI yet, but let me see. Let me see if I can even, I didn't really see if they were generating on the map at all. So let's do debug fog reveal radius 300. Hello, Wooius. I suppose. Yeah. So let's see here. Can we find one of the resurrection events? I don't think I'm placing any guaranteed resurrection events either, so that's probably a problem. Am I on the right branch? I think I am. Wonder why I'm not seeing any. Well, let's make sure to place at least a couple of them. So we'll go to the run map generator. Go to the run map generator. Here. Give me 1 second here. I'm a little bit scatterbrained today, but we'll get it done. Okay, so place guaranteed event. Let's do place guaranteed event. Event type dot resurrection stone. Let's do min count of 2. Distribution spacing 8, I suppose. All right, so we got resurrection stones here, and then we'll make it a valid type for the start neighbor as well. So you can pick up an extra resurrection early if you want to. Although, actually, maybe that's not a good idea, because it requires cards. So the way that the resurrection works now... Oh, there's one. So the way that this works now is that this is... Ah, fudge. Something broke. Resurrection stowed container. Required object RP child is null. I have no idea what that means. Oh, this is referencing the same thing. Okay, let's just replace those. Resurrection container, resurrection stone container. Okay. Yeah, I guess there was something wonky going on there. S8KK. Okay, all right. I think it was probably messed up because before I got on the stream, GitHub was doing some weird stuff. Or Git, sorry. Was doing some weird stuff, or Godot was doing some weird stuff, changing things around, and I figured maybe something went wrong with the files there. But I think it's fixed. Anyway, let's do this instead. Let's generate test map, go to 14 as the event type. That's the new, Simon Stellenhag wallpaper. I don't know how to say his name, but yes. Love that dude. Good morning, Arion. How you doing? Oh, it broke again. What is going on? Script inherits from type margin container, so it can't be assigned to type VBox container. Resurrection container. Oh, what? No, this is right. Okay, something is broken here. Disconnect that. Scripts UI resurrection stone container. I don't know how this broke. I literally tested this last night and it broke for some reason, but that's all right. Okay, let's try this again. Cool. All right, so the resurrection stone acquisition. It just looks like the normal resurrection as it exists today. You'll sacrifice some cards. You will get an amount of resurrection stones based on probably the amount of the board that you fill there. And those will become a little currency here. And then we'll get rid of this end run button because obviously we don't want that to be there for that event. We have to add a skip event button to that screen, so you could skip it if you want to, and then we'll have to do new art for the actual player resurrection. So I have that in place as well. So let's get rid of generate test map. We will change the necromancer starting health to 1. Okay. So I'll show you what happens. So I start the player off with 1 resurrection stone here. And so when I die, the other thing about this change is that this is going to require a proper end screen. So this goes to a resurrection screen if you have resurrection stones. Obviously this button is placeholder, but you'll probably be able to end the run from here as well. Click resurrect. That resurrects you. If you die again, that just automatically ends the game. And so that would be a place where we transition into like a post-run screen or something to show you all your stats and whatnot. So that was something that I wanted to do anyway, so this is going to be like a nice catalyst for that, I guess. Hello, Snupbill. Thank you for the IDR 10,000. Very much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. With the message Yummers. It's very generous. Thank you. And welcome back to the stream. All right, so we've got a lot to do here. The first thing to do is the resurrection stone container. We want this to award stones based on the cell count of the cards. So let's do maybe I'll just do let's just do like required cells. Required cells equals 6, and then what we'll do is we'll say we'll add, actually let's do this. The sacrifice clickable control, brazier clickable control. Do I need this? Yeah. Add a clickable validator. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to do var cell count is equal to board get cards on board dot sum x dot cell count. And we're going to return cell count is greater than or equal to required cells. Okay, so on invalid click, we need to do an announcement here. We'll just do something like this. Sacrifice is not great enough. Oops. We're going to get rid of that skull, so that's going to go away, but I don't want to do that just yet because we're going to port that over to the new one. We are going to need a skip button now. This onboard state updated. I don't believe I need this. So we'll get rid of this. Okay. Add resurrection stones 1. That's fine. We're going to make that a better animation eventually in the future. But we're good there. How do you approach translation of their games? Localization of your game text, it seems like your resources have only English text. Oh, that's the fun part. I don't. I have not given any thought to localization whatsoever, so that's going to be a pain in the rear, I'm sure. Did you hear the cat? He was meowing. No, I didn't give any thought to localization at all. Just like I didn't give any thought to the save system before I implemented it, but it'll be fine. It'll just be a lot of annoying work, I'm sure, but it'll get done eventually, I'm sure. I mean, there is an option too to just not do localization. Just make it English only. But we will see. Okay, so this is going to require at least 6 cells on the board to be filled to get a resurrection stone. So we don't have resurrection stone showing in the UI, and we also don't have a very nice UI for the actual resurrection. Me no English, please. Yeah. Hello, cat. Are you okay? I can't tell if you're okay or not. I think he's fine. Anyway, so I don't really know what the next best thing to work on is. I mean, probably the art for the actual resurrection. That's probably the next best thing to do. So, oh, and I don't need this label anymore. I don't need this label. This one here, we don't need this. We don't need this whole thing. We'll get rid of that health label. Goodbye, health label. We don't need health text anymore. Okay. We're going to need to update the tutorial as well with all this new stuff. But anyway, let's go sketch up some art. Oh goodness, I can't read that. I can't read that. So we're going to sketch up some art for the actual resurrection. I don't really have a good idea of what it could look like, but we'll just take a picture here. We'll open up Sprite, and we'll see what we could do here. Alchemortis docs. We got the screenshot here. Okay. Assets. UI. We'll just put this in the resurrection as well. Let's rename this one. Resurrection Stone. And we'll call this one just Resurrection there. Okay. So what should we do for the resurrection event here? What should we do? Well, it's so there's like a resurrection stone, which I haven't yet drawn, but I think it would make sense for that stone to be part of the resurrection art here. So I think, I don't know, does anyone have any ideas? I was thinking maybe like some kind of like pedestal or something. Some kind of... Yeah, I'm thinking it, like, so maybe there's like this, maybe not necessarily an altar, but some kind of like stone pillar here. So we've got a stone pillar. I'm thinking there could be some kind of receptacle for the stone. That would be the clickable element here. And then when that stone gets placed, we'll draw a piece of art for the stone. That will get placed in there, and then like a beam will shoot up into the sky here with a bunch of particles and stuff. And then we could do like little... So we got a beam flying up from the sky. We could do, of course, like particles along the beam here. And then there could be like souls, like little soul particles that swirl around when you click that. So it's just like this upward motion of like beam into the sky, bunch of souls get released, and then it fades out and you get resurrected. So something like that I think would be kind of cool. It's going to be a lot of work, but maybe we'll just do the very basic art first before we worry about the VFX. And then, yeah, we'll do that first. We'll just do the very basic art. We'll get it working. We'll get the clickable in place, and then we can add the effects later. You want that to resemble the currency that'll be on the left side? Yeah, the stone that you place. So there will be like an empty receptacle here. That skull will probably be down here, that end run skull there from the other screen. And then when you click on the receptacle, like a stone will be placed inside of it, and then it will do the animation, and that will subtract one stone from your currency. I think that's the way it works. 3 boards that require 1 item each all connect to the stone in the middle that glows once it's lootable. Oh, interesting. What about a shrine? A shrine is a good idea. Lazarus stone is a circle that rolls out of the way. Interesting, okay. Heart-shaped ruby as the stone, maybe just a thought. Oh, you meant getting reses, never mind, yeah. I like the idea of a shrine. Maybe we can make this look kind of like a shrine in some way. So let's see, let's shrink this down. I'm just going to make this very basic to start. Make this very basic. A very basic cube. All right, so we've got a very basic cube. Mission accomplished. Actually, mission not accomplished? Okay. Let me actually look at, let me see. Yeah, so it's kind of the same perspective as these ones here. So that'll be fine. Okay. We'll kind of shaping it up, if that's a word. We're gonna end shaping it. Make it a little bit more interesting, hopefully. Okay. That works, and then we can round this up a little bit. Round it off, I guess. Okay. All right. So we got some shapefulness to it now. Of course, we could just add little blemishes here and there. Give it some more intrigue. Now the dog is barking in his sleep. Very cool. It's kind of cute. These animals. Always something. Okay, so we've kind of got just kind of like a rough idea of what's going on here. Yeah. So something like that. I mean, hopefully you could see already how that shape is turning out. Looks somewhat like a stone pillar there. So we've got the pillar here. What I'm going to do is let's open up. I just want to get that skull out of the other one. Resurrection. This one here. Nope, I just... What? Resurrection stones, here we go. So this skull here... Let's just... Can I just copy this? Okay, so we'll take the skull. That skull will just sit here or something. So you have a way of ending your run if you just don't feel like resurrecting. Might as well put it there, why not? Perhaps a church or cathedral for the map node, as if you're stealing stone from a holy place of Inquisition. Actually, that's a rectangular prism. So is this to put the stone in the resurrect? Yeah. Why do you need a screen for that? Shouldn't the combat just pause, the stone appear to shatter? Then you can resume the fight. You don't have a choice, right? It's res or end the run. Yeah, I mean, you don't have a choice, but I think the reason I don't want to do it in combat is I want to get the player to understand that they died, but also give them a chance to like pause and like look at their build. Like this is kind of just like this is basically like a you died screen, you know, press to reload from a save. You know how games do that? It's like it gives the player an opportunity to understand the fact that they died, that to collect themselves, to like think about why they died a little bit, and then give them an opportunity to press like a confirm button to continue on. I don't want to make it necessarily automatic because I think that it might be unclear sometimes, like, wait, what just happened? You know what I mean? So I want a very distinct, like, you died moment, right? Where it's like, you're dead, you died, you got critted, your health went to 0. The player goes, oh my gosh, right? I can't believe that just happened. They're looking through the combat log, they're looking at their board, and then there's options presented here. Do you want to try again? Or do you want to just end the run? Like, are you pretty confident that your build sucks, so you just want to end the run, or, you know, use a resurrection stone? And that also makes it very clear too that a resurrection stone is being used here, right? It's like, it's being used as a response to a player action, rather than just like, oh, you died, automatically take a resurrection stone away, automatically resurrect you, and like, here's the combat state reset. I'm worried that that may be a little bit confusing or a little bit rushed. So, yeah, you're right that it's like the player doesn't really have a choice. I mean, they have a choice. They can either end the run or continue on, as long as they have a resurrection stone. But I think creating that moment of like, you know, it's a very obvious notification that the player died, that something went wrong, right? Plus, it'll just be cool to have like this thematic like resurrection kind of deal. But I could also see it being the case where, like, maybe I introduce an artifact where when you die, you have an option of just like, or it could just be like when you die, the resurrection stone gets consumed and it kills the enemy immediately. Something like that, you know what I mean? Gonna have text to convey you died too, I would imagine. Where would that go? Yeah, that's a good point. I think having a point for the player to take a break is necessary if a run ended if they went on for a long time. You should play the LOL You Died song from I Want to Be the Boshi while on the screen. I have no idea what that is. I don't get that reference. Fair enough, that makes sense. Could have similar mechanic for the old board, to the old board locks that you just click the stone a bunch to shatter it with a cool anim. Yeah. Yeah, that could work. All right, so we got these things here. Let's do like maybe a little receptacle for this thing. So how do I want to do this? Let's see. Maybe something like that. So we'll draw a stone that just kind of like fits in there. Okay. Well, we'll see if we can make this work, I guess. We will see. Okay, I'll worry about doing the detail for that later. For now, we could just outline it. Probably will need some kind of shadow here. That's all right. So we'll do more, like, I'll do more decorations and stuff around this, but I think just getting the basics in place is good for now. So we can actually test the flow. So let's also get an outline around the pillar. May end up reversing these colors as well, but I'll think about that in a second. I think the idea of a heart crystal is good, obvious to the player what it is. Yeah, we could do something like that. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, let's just export all these. And while that's exporting, I'm going to take a quick break. I need to go check on the cat, make sure he's safe. He's got me a little bit worried, so let me go do that real quick. I'll be right back, and we will continue on with this. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. So we've got all these layers exported, so now we can go ahead and bring those into Godot. See what we can do about this. I'm not going to worry too much about the layout here. So we've currently got this resurrect button. That's going to go away. We're going to add, let's see. What do I want to do here? Maybe we'll add... I'm trying to think of how I want to lay this, like, structure this scene. These scenes are a little bit wonky here, but that's all right. Let's see. Let's just do this. We'll grab assets, UI, resurrection. Here we go. So we got pillar, receptacle, skull. We'll bring that in. Okay. Maybe we'll just go ahead and add a reference rect here. And we'll just set this up. Custom minimum size. We'll just stretch this up a little bit. Pillar, let's just turn the offset off and make it easy. So we can put this here. I'll actually go ahead and add a visuals root here. Okay. We actually want this to be a child of the reference rect. All right, that should work. And then pillar, receptacle. Let's turn this off. That will go there. We need a clickable control for this. Receptacle is what, 22 by 31? Okay, I think that's correct. We'll put the receptacle as a child of that. Okay. And then for the skull, we're going to do the same thing. 24 by 21. We set that up that way. Okay. We can put this here. Yeah, something like that. And then we could take this visuals node here. Well, maybe not, actually. I don't know if I did this right, but we'll just do this. There we go. And we could take this reference rect and just shrink this down. Okay, so there's our little scene. We're going to add a clickable coordinator. We can get rid of the resurrect button now. Add these clickable controls. Okay. So this receptacle clickable control, the outline target is receptacle. And then the skull clickable control, the outline target is skull. Alrighty. So we are going to need references to these things, so we'll do that. Okay. So we're getting all the references to those things. We don't need the resurrect button anymore. Okay. Receptacle, clickable control. So that's fine. And then we got to take the end run stuff out of here. On skull clicked, we'll grab this. And run clicks remaining. Okay. Cool. So I think we're good, and then we'll go to the other resurrection stone container. We need to remove this skull clickable control from here. We're going to need to update that art as well. So maybe I should just go ahead and do that right now. Alter. So we'll just take this. It's probably fine. That's probably fine. So I'll just export this. File scripts, export layers. Wait for that to export. That should update the old or the resurrection stones event now. Get rid of that shadow. So we're good there. Okay, so that's good. And then let me just make sure that I don't have a reference to the skull anymore. I do. So we want to get rid of this. Get rid of that. Oops, not all of that, just that. I think my clickable coordinator needs to be updated as well. Yeah, delete that one. Okay. Get rid of this, get rid of that, get rid of that. All right, so I think we're all set up now. So maybe we could spend more time on that art. But yeah, I think it's looking decent now. I mean, it's getting there. So let's see what happens when I die now. Let me just make sure that all of these things are set up, configured properly. So we'll go into a combat encounter, we'll die, we'll just make sure everything works as expected. Okay, there we go. So if I click this, that should just resurrect me. Perfect. Let's just test. Well, the end run is going to happen automatically, so that's fine. We'll just test the end run works as well, and then we can go forward with updating this. So we need to draw the stone still. Maybe some kind of heart stone is appropriate, but okay, and that ends the run. Perfect. All right. Cool. So we're all good with that. Let me stage. We'll just commit all these. Okay. So we're good there. Now it's just a matter of updating this art, making it look good, getting that stone art done. So the thing about the stone, though, is that since it's a currency, I'm going to want to show it in the drawer on the left-hand side as well. So in here. So that means I need an 11 by 11 icon for that. And then the larger version that gets placed in that receptacle. So that's the things that we're going to need to do. So that's kind of why I don't know if a heartstone is going to work, but because I need to draw the 11 by 11 version. But maybe I can just go ahead and doodle that and see if I can make it look all right. So we need 11 by 11. Let's just do this. There we go. The problem here is that I cannot go over to the edges. So this actually needs to shrink inward. I think that's probably the best that I can do. So we'll do that, but then let's see if we can... I guess we'll just see if we could sell the idea of this being a stone, like some kind of gemstone. We'll see if we could sell the idea of this being a gemstone. I think we're maybe getting there. Let's see. Hold on 1 second, be right back. Oh, Lord. Maybe it should use up slots so you can't have lots of them. Could just be a 1 by 1, but at least it's using up the player's inventory. Or dedicated section of inventory that can hold a max of 3. Yeah, I mean, I thought about making it use inventory. I mean, I do like the idea of having it... I do like the idea of having it use the inventory to some extent. Because... You know, because then it's like, you know, you have to balance whether you want to hold on to them or if you want to get rid of them. And I think that could be an interesting decision to make. But I could also see that being very annoying, like, you know, you want to be able to hold on to your resurrections because they're very powerful, and they just end up taking up inventory space, and it's kind of annoying, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I could see it both ways. I have a suspicion that if I made it an item that you have to have in your inventory, that people would just not like that. Because it feels almost like an obligation, right? Like you want to, it's such a powerful item. It can literally save your run, right? And so I have a feeling people are going to just feel like they have to hold on to them every time they get them, and then that's just going to functionally reduce their inventory space, and that can be frustrating. So I'm taking a bet that a currency approach is probably better. But we'll see, you know? We will see. I mean, I think this looks fine as like an icon there. Okay. We'll have to move this out of this. We'll have to move this out of this class, I think, but it's good enough for now. Hello, Clickertail, welcome. I like the heart, thank you. Yeah, I think it turned out pretty decent. It's a nice little icon, I think. So now we need to make a bigger version of that that will go into the receptacle. So I basically have to redraw that, but proportionally to this part. Hearts are actually very hard to draw for some reason. They got weird proportions. I think that may be too big. Well, let's just see if I can do it in one fell swoop. Well, not quite, but I can clean it up. I still think that's too big. Okay, that's probably better. Oops. All right, I think that's probably fine. That'll fit very nicely into there. So now we just gotta, oops, we just have to draw this up then. Why is this not working? Why are you filling the whole thing? Okay, I don't know how that changed, but that's all right. All right, so now we gotta figure out how to make this look like a stone, a gemstone of some kind. Let's just divide it and then we try something else. That might work. Will help if I have the background in place too. Man, drawing stones is really hard, like gemstones and stuff. But we'll just keep adding stuff until it looks good. When in doubt, just add stuff. I think maybe just shrink this up a little bit. It doesn't look that great, does it? But that's okay. I think it's mostly the highlights are weird. Let's try to simplify this a little bit. You did all the art animations. They look great. I did. 12 o'clock. I did. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Is that supposed to be a brazier dropping a stone into a fire? Yeah, it's like a... It's not a brazier exactly. It's just like a receptacle. The idea is that it's going to fit into the receptacle here, and then a big old beam is going to come from the sky. That's the idea anyway. So you'll just drop it. It will slot in. Big old beam. There will be souls and whatnot coming out of it. I think it'll be cool. I just need to figure out how to, like, nail the gem part of it. Just got to figure out how to nail the gem part of it, and then we'll be okay. I may have to come back to this later. I think the shape is fine. I just think that, yeah, the shading is not super good. Maybe if I just made that one dark instead of light. Oh, that kind of works. Let's see. That's starting to look a little bit better. Well, it's not perfect, but it looks okay. I think it looks okay. It's presentable at least. That is the standard we go for here at Firebelly Game Studio. We go for the standard of it's presentable. It's the only standard you'll ever need. Okay, so that's gonna have to like drop in and just kind of like be nestled by that, I think. So that's actually gonna end up being, let's do this. Receptacle front. Then we're also going to do this receptacle back. So we'll just go ahead and grab basically this. Receptacle back. And then the resurrection stone here. I always get this ordering wrong. There we go. So this is going to just drop in like this. Boom. Something like that. Oh, I do want to keep that though. So yeah, that's kind of how it will work. Obviously, we got to do a bunch of art still with this because it's not entirely it's not entirely done, so probably want to handle that. Oh, receptacle back. So let me just roughly shade this up and we'll see what we can do. Do this. Yeah, just kind of trying to make it look, you know, shaded to some extent. Okay. All right, the receptacle back now. What do we want to do here? That's probably all right. So it kind of looks like that. You know, I mean, I may want to actually do... Oh, that's probably fine, actually. So yeah, we use the brighter color scheme for the clickable elements. And then this will use that 3-color scheme, the pillar here. Hello, Yito. Hello, V. Welcome back. The Necromancer just pokes in a straw and drinks like a smoothie. Mmm, souls, yeah. Currency creep. What if you scroll a texture for a shine effect? I do have a... I mean, I already have like an outline shader, so... A shine effect is not a bad idea, necessarily. But I already have a way of like communicating to the player that things are happening. Actually think, oops. That looks a little bit better to me. Yeah, we'll go with that. So let me just... Yeah, it looks a little bit nicer. And for the back part, well, actually for the receptacle front, I want to get rid of this. We can do this. Okay, and then yeah, that looks fine, I think. Yeah. Can't really complain about that. I think the gemstone it could be a little bit better, but again, it's fine. So the last thing to do is just the pillar here. Make that look nice. I'm trying to think. I can look at my artifact pillars. Yeah, let me just save this though, what I've got. We'll commit that. So we're committing that. That's fine. So really the pillar is the last thing to finish. And then we can get all that stuff integrated properly. The visual effects, that's probably going to be quite a bit of an effort, so I'm going to have to think about that. But we can at least get all this in the game and see what it looks like. But anyway, I'm going to take another quick 3-minute break. When I come back, we will finish up this pillar here. We'll get all the new art in the game. We'll see how it's feeling. We'll add that currency section to the player drawer with the currency icon here. And yeah, we should be good to go after that. So I'll be right back in just 3 minutes and we'll continue on. Hello everybody, I'm back. It's time for Game Dev once again. Hello, Jackie Daytona, welcome back. Good to see you. Maybe some skeleton undead hands reaching from the ground up the pillar, as if they are grasping for the stone. Maybe they were previous necromancers that didn't quite make their run. Yeah, that's a good idea. We could definitely do something like that. I mean, we've got a skull here, so we could have hands coming up for sure. Yeah, I think that would work. I have no problems with that at all. So I'm just adding some more detail on this darker side of the pillar here. Or at least trying to anyway. Okay. And then we can also do some stuff over here. Let's just hide all this stuff. Okay. All right. And then I'm gonna have to figure out what to do about this part. May actually go a little bit easier on the highlighting up here now that I'm thinking about it. And just kind of do like very not necessarily subtle, but just more muted kind of highlight here. Highlight this, because this is a background element. This is not a clickable element, and so it doesn't need to have a whole lot of focus. And then here, I mean, I could do something, let's see. Oops. 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 Yeah, I think what I'll do, hold on a second. If I can give the impression of like certain faces of the rock, of the pillar being exposed to light here. That'll work, and then we can do something like this. Yeah, that'll work. And then here, let's see. Maybe bring this down a little bit. That works. Yeah, I mean, it just makes it make it a little bit more visually interesting, you know? I mean, the skull is going to be sitting there for the most part, so I may actually end up just moving the skull out of the way a little bit. Or it could be placed on the other side here too. Something like that. And then here we could take this pillar, fill this in a little bit. And then so break this up a little bit maybe. Try to make it a little bit worn on the top. Anyway, I mean, I think that's probably okay. Do want to add some... Maybe I'll add some extra lighter spots over here. Actually, let's bring this down a little bit. It's a little bit too big. Oops. All right, well, I think it's probably okay. All right. Well, I could play with this all day, but I think it's presentable. Like I said, the standard here is presentable. But when we put all the things together, it should look pretty decent. And then of course we could do some more decorations and whatnot. I wonder if I should put... Yeah. What are we doing today? We're updating the resurrection system, which requires new art and all that good stuff. So that's what we're doing. So I'm realizing now that I also need receptacle back and receptacle front. So I'm actually, a lot of that effort was kind of for naught because I do need to have like a little shadow here. If nothing else, it's just going to be this basically. Oops. We can make it a little bit darker here. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, I'm getting lost in all my layers. Ugh, fudge. Okay, we'll just fill this out. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I think that's fine. What are the rules for the resurrection again? So the new resurrection change. So right now in the game, you can resurrect basically indefinitely as long as you have items to sacrifice. But we're changing the resurrection system to have a currency. So the currency is like these heart stones, these resurrection stones. And you can only resurrect if you have that currency. The idea is that characters are going to start with one resurrection stone by default, but the only way to acquire more resurrection stones is to find the resurrection events on the map. So basically now what it's going to happen is if you find no resurrection events, you basically have one resurrection. Now, what I might do also is I might allow the boss to award a resurrection stone or something, or have more ways of getting them. But right now, yeah, they're going to be limited. So that's going to hopefully make the game a little bit more difficult, because a lot of the reason why the game is kind of easy to beat right now is because you can just resurrect and just like tank your way through boss fights. And that's not going to be the case anymore. So you're going to have to manage your resurrection stones. You're going to have to be a little bit more careful. Now, I don't know if the resurrection events are going to be common enough to make this interesting, but that's why we're testing it. We're going to see if it works. And of course, my version of testing is doing all the art as if it's final, but I have a really hard time judging the quality of a system if there's not something visually nice about it. So, plus, you know, I feel like doing some art. So we're good. I tried doing some pixel art yesterday, and I felt like I was just mashing two bricks together. Kudos for the graphic work. Thank you, Straight Pointer. Yeah, I mean, that's what it feels like when you first start, for sure. Like, I would get so frustrated when I first started doing art. It's like, why can't I draw? I mean, I still do sometimes, like, I can't draw something, but, you know, it gets better with practice. You know, there are fewer and fewer days, generally speaking, where I'm just like, I can't draw this, what the heck, you know? The most recent experience I had was trying to draw the werewolf, and I was like, something's not working. But, you know, I came back to it a couple hours later, and I tried a different approach, and it ended up working, and... You know, the more you practice, the more and more you're going to have those, or the less and less you're going to have those moments of frustration. Like when I went the other day when I was doing the character platforms. Where is that? Oh, I actually don't remember where that is. So like the character platform decorations. So these decorations are around the character select screen. This is the priestess one. So when I was drawing these for that screen, I basically just did these in one attempt. And that's not to brag, that's just to say, like, you know, you will get to the point eventually where, like, the art is more often easier than not. But it takes a while to get to that point, for sure. So do not be discouraged. Keep practicing, keep studying. And you'll get there. You'll get there for sure. It's really not, I mean, look, if I can do pixel art, you can do it too. It's not, I'm not doing anything special here. I'm just applying certain rules using the past experience of like what didn't go well and what did go well. And, you know, I would say my art is presentable, generally speaking, which is all that really needs to be the case for, you know, if you're making a game, right? Okay, so let's get all of these things. So here's what I want to do as well. I am going to... So I like this layout. So what I'll do is I will export this little section here. And this will just be called Resurrection Mockup. Since all these are different pieces, I'm just going to export the selection here. And then I will hide the mask and hide the background. I have to update this outline here. Just make sure all of my stuff is actually this part here. Oops, that needs to go away. That needs to put in resurrection back, or receptacle back rather. Okay. We're not going to do the icon just yet. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my pillar here, delete all the black, and then re-outline it. Fill in any gaps here, for example. Skull out of the way. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay, so this is basically what I want exported, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And I'll probably do another commit before I go much further. I'm very much a fan of just like regularly committing. Like my style of committing is just like whenever I finish a thing, I make a commit. So I've like finished this art, well, quote unquote finished, but the art is ready to be put in the game. But rather than doing the art as the finished result and then modifying a bunch of my scenes in Godot to to be updated with this art, I will update or push a commit for the art first. And then I will go and do the scenes as a separate commit. Just a personal preference, but I find that having like a very granular history is very useful. Because if I ever said, nah, you know what, I want to redo that scene or whatever, I'm not getting a bunch of noise like a commit that has 30 files changed. And I'm like, wait, I just want to like look at what happened with these two files or whatever. Plus, it looks really impressive when you have like 3,000 commits and they're all, but they're all like two files changed. Anyway, that's a tangent, but we go on tangents sometimes. So here we got the resurrection mockup. So what I'm going to do is basically just line this up. I can move this to the front too so I can actually see it. Okay. So we've got the resurrection mockup. So what I'll do is... Oh, the receptacle... Right, there's a receptacle front now. Where did my receptacle front go? Did it not get picked up? Let's re-import. There it is. Okay, receptacle front. Boom. So this is a little bit not positioned correctly. So we're going to move this down just a bit. And actually this clickable control has the wrong dimensions now. So maybe we'll just move this up and move the receptacle. Okay, so that's fine. We do need to do the receptacle back now. Okay, that's good. Now these are going to have to unfortunately be part of a canvas group. And then this outline target needs to change to that canvas group so that those get outlined as a unit. All right, and then the skull, this one should be relatively easy. We're just gonna, let's just get rid of the pillar for now. Okay, that's good. So that's all aligned. And then the pillar. Okay, that's perfect. And then we are going to want to do the shadow now. So let's grab the shadow. Let's put this here. Oh, this is going to have to go on top of the pillar. So let's hide these things. Let's hide the pillar as well so I can see. I think that's where the shadow has to go. Yeah, that's fine. So we turn all those back on and we can get rid of the resurrection mock-up now. And there we go, everything's all aligned. So now everything's updated with the new art. I still want to do some decorations around here. I'm just not gonna do that just yet. I think the idea of having like hands coming up from the base, like skeletal hands, is a really good one. So we'll probably do that. But I am gonna need to get the resurrection stone in here now. And so this is gonna need to be animated. So let's just do like, actually we can add, let me think. Yes, that stone actually needs to go in here. So yeah, so what we'll do is it will like probably come in from the top, slam down into the thing, and then a beam will go up into the sky. It'll look pretty cool, I hope. But this is going to need to be... I'm going to add another node here. Okay, so we've got the stone root. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Oh, no, that does. Yeah. Okay. And like I said, I've mentioned this before, but what I like to do when I'm doing scenes that are going to be animated, like these ones, is for any element that I'm going to animate, I like to make its parent like the root, and then have the thing that I'm animating have its default position be at position 0, 0. That makes animations a lot easier because for a number of reasons. One, you know that 0, 0 is the default position, so whenever you're animating something with a tween or with an animation player, you know that 0, 0 is the position where it should be in by default. But the other benefit of adding the root node here is that I can actually move the root if I need to without affecting the animation, because the animation is going to be applied to this thing assuming that 0, 0 is the default position, right? So if I ever need to move the scene around for whatever reason, let's say that I shrink the pillar down, all I need to do is just move the stone root, and then that animation will still be relative to that root rather than like a position relative to the root of the scene. And then I need to go into my animation player and update all my keyframes or update my tweens and stuff. It's especially useful if you're going to be doing tweens because it's really annoying to have to go in and change exact numbers in the code base to be the new numbers for the new positioning. So yeah, that's just something I recommend is like get your scene set up such that whatever you're animating has a default position of 0, 0, and then you can do all your animations based on that. It's a good trick, I think. But what do I know? I'm just a guy on the internet. Always teaching. Yeah. I try to be helpful. But, you know. I'm just a guy. At the end of the day, I'm just a guy. We're all just guys. Now the question is, what do I want to do? Do I want to do the animation now here? Who do you think you are? The guy. I'm the guy. Fire guy. Fire belly. Anyway. So let's take a break from working on this scene for now. We have some more art to do. So we need to go to the drawer UI now, wherever that is. Where is that? Well, I guess we're gonna have to go into the... Oh, it's in UI inventory. Here we go. Do I have enough room here? I may have to reposition these a little bit. So that's 6 pixels. That's 6 pixels. Yeah, if I paste this and I move this such that it's 6 pixels away, that is gonna encroach on that. So I may actually want to change these a little bit. Let's move this one up. Okay, so that should be like 4 pixels now. We'll move this one up. That is now 4 pixels, and then let's see. And hopefully this is roughly, so it's 5 pixels, so it's about the same. So we just squished together those labels a little bit more. We got more room now. And then I'm realizing now that these all look the same. So I may just go ahead and quickly redo some of this. I actually don't know if I like that being on the side anymore, so we'll get rid of this. Actually, I don't know why I'm doing that. Yeah, this should all be... Why is that... Okay, let's get rid of this. Get rid of these. The background is already purple. I actually don't know why. I understand these ones, those bottom parts, but this does not need to be here. Oh gosh, this art is a mess. Okay. Just clean this up because those things are completely unnecessary, I think. The only ones that could be necessary are here. Okay. All right, so just a little bit of cleanup, I suppose. Okay. So let's just rework these to some extent. Okay. I'll just do all these. These other two, I'll just do them. Okay. All right, that's probably fine. Just make them all look a little bit different so it doesn't look like a copy paste. Okay, so now I think I just export this whole thing. Should be 106 wide. Yes, it is. Inventory export. So now we've got those three labels. We've got this blood currency display. Oh, the VBox container. Oh, okay. This is actually interesting. This is actually a container. I thought I had manually placed all these, but I guess not. Okay. Separation of 4. Then we should be able to do the resurrection stones currency display. Ah, son of a biscuit. Might have to genericize this some more. Residue icon. So I just have a flag to determine if it's residue. But what may actually be more appropriate is we'll do like an enum or something. Public static enum currency type blood residue resurrection stone. Modifier static is not valid. That's fine. Oops. Spy Kids 3 ref. I know a guy who knows the guy. All right, so there's our currency type. I'll build this. So I'm gonna have to change this currency display now. So let's go here. We're gonna change this. This will be, instead of residue icon texture, this will be, well, we want to keep that. Export private texture 2D blood icon texture. Export private texture 2D. Resurrection stone icon texture. We'll get rid of this is residue display. Public static read-only string resurrection stone target group name. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll do another export. Private currency manager dot currency type. Currency type. If currency type is equal to residue, else if currency type is equal to blood. Connect to display resurrection stone changed. Cool. Texture is equal to currency type switch. That works. Okay. So I think we've properly genericized that. Okay. Now we gotta build and fix all that stuff. That movie was awful. I don't think I've ever seen it, so I have a habit of not watching bad movies. Oh, I didn't actually add the icon, so let's move this. Where is this blood at? Assets UI icon. Okay, so let's go ahead and do open file, assets, UI, icon. Okay, so let's just go ahead and we'll just create a new file. 11 by 11. We're going to take this icon resurrection stone out of here, if possible. We'll delete that from there. I'm going to put it here. Okay, that works. Assets UI icon. Resurrection stone.png. Okay, and then we should be able to do the resurrection stone PNG there. Okay, and then in the player inventory, we set that one to blood, this one to residue, and this one to resurrection stone. You're my age. How did your childhood not include Spy Kids? I guess I just had a good knack for not watching bad movies even as a kid, I guess. I guess. I mean, I saw Spy Kids mentioned all the time. Like, I think it was on Nickelodeon or whatever. It was being constantly advertised, and it never looked interesting or good to me. Even as wee little mini Firebelly. Okay, so we've got the resurrection stone in there now. So that seems to be working pretty well. Touche. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's the real answer. I guess I just never watched it. Just make sure this all still works. Okay, so that's working good. So I'm going to need to animate the gain of the currency as well. That's going to need to be genericized too. Just going to be a little bit of a busy work, but that's all right. Too busy building games and taking names seriously. Yep, that's what I'll go with. Okay, so I think generally speaking, it's looking pretty good. Let me just go ahead and die real quick. I'll just go ahead and die. Just die real quick. So there's our thing. I can end the run, or I can click there. So I think that's going to look really cool when there's like animations and stuff in place, but that's going to need to be another chunk of work. We can see I have 0 resurrection stones now. So if I die again, that just fades out. So we're going to need a proper end run screen after this work is done for sure. But yeah, I think that can be handled later. But anyway, that's going to be it for the stream for now. I may stream later today. I don't know. We'll see. I may stream later today. But I'll let you know. I actually have to take the cat to the vet later today because of his concerning event this morning. But I may be feeling like doing another stream. So keep an eye on the Discord for the notification when I go live. Again, you can wishlist Alchemortis on Steam. It's a dark fantasy roguelite auto battler. The playtest is available right now for Patreon members, so you can head on over to the Patreon and subscribe. Not only do you get a nice number of perks, like if you subscribe to the top tier, it's like a pre-purchase of Alchemortis, so I'll send you a Steam key when the game launches. Actually, you know what I just realized? I could probably send those keys out Well, anyway, you'll get a key eventually, like probably before the game releases, so that you can install it right when the game releases. But that's if you subscribe to that top tier on Patreon. Any tier on Patreon gets you access to the playtest immediately, but you do not have to support on Patreon to play the playtest. The playtest will be live for everyone starting on Monday, so that's coming up in just like 5 days or whatever. But thank you, everyone, for your support. Thank you for being here. Very much appreciate it. And I'm glad to hear that a lot of you who have tried the game are thinking that it's feeling better. And, you know, obviously we're taking steps to address a lot of the remaining issues with respect to combat balancing and difficulty. But I think everyone who has played the playtest, who also played the previous playtests, is saying that it's better. So that's great. And we'll just keep refining it until there are very few problems left with the design of the game. So yeah, thank you, Clickertail. Appreciate that. Thank you, RN Genesis. All right, thanks again for the support. I'll talk to you later, everybody, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.